Alright guys, I'm gonna get ready to change my oil. Things I'll need is oil drain pan, toolkit, oil, funnel, and filter. First, I'm going to start and warm up the bike, and I'm actually gonna go take it for a ride to get it fully warmed up. And I will be back to change the oil. So letting the bike warm up right now before I go ride it. Get the oil ready. The FZ-09, if you look in the owner's manual if you have one, or I'm actually not sure if Google has this information yet, but it takes either 2.8 or 2.7 liters / quarts. There's two different measurements for liters and quarts. They're pretty much the same, but you won't need 4 liters or quarts, so you only need 3. And the only filter that I know that works, I know there's other ones that works, but it's the KN204. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. The drain plug is, I will show you, right there. That is the drain plug. I will be unscrewing that to drain the oil, as you can imagine. It's important after warming up your bike, you do not burn yourself on anything, which sometimes may be hard to do. I'm gonna go get a breaker bar so I don't slam my hand into a hot header. Very helpful. If you don't have an actual breaker bar, which I don't. Another tip, which you can break the seal of the oil pan without actually letting any oil drain, so you don't have to worry about putting the actual pan under there when you're cracking it open, because as you can see, it's halfway screwed out, if not more, and no oil has even came out yet. A little bit burny. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down and wash this drain out. Nice and cloudy. Lots of little aluminum crusties flying around in there, I'm sure. That said, I'm going to open up the filler cap over here. Okay. So now we're going to let that drain for a little bit. And I have been experimenting where you can see these are 2 magnets that I put on the oil filter, held on by nothing but magnetic power. Not only was that to test, but the test of whether or not it's catching anything. Because I considered investing in a magnetic drain plug for the longest time on my ZR, but I can never find one that fits, so I'm just doing this test to see if it's even worth, if magnets even pick up anything in the engine. Now what we're gonna do is take off the 2 magnets that are probably burning fucking hot, because now I have to unscrew the oil filter, which I have the K&N, so it just has a 17mm nut on top as well as the drain plug, same size. Really trying not to drop this in there. before touch my hand on the header. But at this point I can probably just, yeah. Go ahead and let that drain out a little bit. Gonna let that drain out fully, especially because I'm switching to a full synthetic oil, which is the Maxima Ultra 4 540. Alright, I've let this sit for like 20 minutes, so time to put the drain plug back in after we clean it. I just used some carb cleaner and a little cloth to clean it off. Most important thing to do is make sure the threads are clean, because that's what's going to be exposed to your engine. And they are now clean. So now I'm going to put the drain plug back in after draining out all the oil. I am not, however, going to torque it down until the end, which you will see, in case I feel it too much or something. Something that everybody in every oil change video ever pretty much has stressed. You gotta put a ring of oil around the rubber gasket on your oil filter. There you go. I'm going to clean up the area around where the oil filter goes and just clean up any excess oil around the where the rubber seal is going to sit. Make sure there's nothing blocking that. And it looks perfectly clean on here. So I think we are good to go. Now, I don't know if you have to do this. I don't think you do, because there's been times where I have not, and not had any problems, but I like to pour some, about half full of the filter, which I'm not going to do in my lap with only one hand, because that's not going to end up well. Now, the reason you put it only half full in the filter, on this bike at least, is the filter goes on at an angle, so if you fill it all the way up, it's just going to spill right out, so there's no point in doing that. Perfect, now that's never going to come off. Time to fill it up with some oil. Now let's put you I'm just going to guess that that is pretty close to what I need. And obviously, I'm going to put it up, or I'm going to have someone sit on it, or sit on it myself, and check the oil sight glass to see that it's the correct amount. Now I'm probably going to have to add oil. I'm going to start it, let it run for a minute, let it cool down for a second, and then add some more, most likely. Okay, though I'm going to keep an eye on the oil level because I've only started it once and ran it for a minute, let it sit for a minute. I'm going to torque down the drain plug to 31 foot-pounds of torque, which is the torque spec. Done. Now obviously run the bike for a little bit before you go out riding, let the oil warm up, make sure there's no leaks or anything. Now of course the oil's been sitting out for a while, but let's do a little look at the oil. And now let's watch it pour into the other container. Definitely some streaks of metal particles in there. Oh yeah, lots of shimmering, shiny pieces of metal in there. Alright, I had the bike started for about, 2 or 3 minutes. Got the RPMs up a couple times, and then here, I'll put you down right here. Sight glass right here, and this is about level right here. It's just under the high mark, which I'm okay with. Perfect. And that is how you change oil on an FZ-09. Thanks for watching.